transpiring today. You know, because all of this is done through the will of the Most High Heavenly Father. And this is the Most High show, and He set it up this way. You know, so that later on He can exonerate His people, and then He can bring down the wicked. And also He can teach his men how to be righteous, man, and how not to live like the wicked and the unjust, man. Because Esau is a perverse man. You know, so kind of go ahead.
I add something real quick. This is John 8:44. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. I just brought that out to link that up, you know, what we pulled out in Wisdom of Solomon, the 2nd chapter, showing that, you know, that it's a physical, showing that the devil is a physical man.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. It ain't no orb or anything just floating around. It's a spirit that's been embodied in someone here on the earth who happens to be so-called white man, all right? Esau, he is the devil, all right? And what I just read here are attributes of what he does today. He lies, he chills, he steals, he murders, you know what I'm saying? He hunts down Jake all throughout the streets, day and night, you know what I'm saying? He lying, he, you know, he spews for these unrighteous decrees or whatnot, where he'll say that, you know, you have the right to free speech, but when you say something about it, he has an issue with it. You know what I'm saying? When you try to voice your opinion, you know what I'm saying? If it's not what he want to hear, you know what I'm saying? Or if it's slandering him, oh, it's a big deal all of a sudden. You know what I'm saying? These are attributes of the devil, who is a so-called white man. Now, you say you wanted Genesis?
Genesis 25:20.
Okay.
You know, because that whole event where the Lord said, I will put enmity between thy seed and the woman's seed, you know, that was a prophecy that was for to come. You know, dealing with 2 different nations, the nation of Edom and the nation of Israel. And it also was dealing with time as well. Because when you read in 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter, it tells you that Esau is the beginning of the world, and Jacob is you know, is basically the rulers of the world to come, roughly paraphrasing. You know, so the scripture tells you that the eldest shall serve the youngest, man. So when that situation happened, where what you were going to read about it, when Esau came out and Jacob grabbed his heel, that was also a prophecy of time. You know, so the so-called white man is ruling over right now, and by far, God damn, has he fucked up the planet Earth, man, and everything in it. You know, everything is out of course because of this devil. But then here it is, you have the audacity to get mad at NFL players for taking a knee, you know, and not pledging allegiance to the flag. You know, what is that, Revelations? And they created an image to the beast, and whosoever will not worship the image of the beast shall be put to death. You know, so you don't want to bow down to the standards of America, America's philosophy, their ways, you know, and now you're just this terrible person. You're worse than the people that they blame for blowing up the Twin Towers and the Trade Center, man. You know, you're just this ultimate bad guy. You're worse than a pedophile. You're worse than a homosexual. You know, which Esau pushes for pedophilia and for homosexuality. You know, you're just this evil and negative person. You know, because you don't want to pledge allegiance to this place, which the Ak brought out. You know, the Pledge of Allegiance, you know, actually the verses that they took out of it talked about Jake being in slavery, man. You know, why would you want to bow down to, why would you want to stand for that national anthem, man? When this place, they'll say that the blood, the red in the flag represents the blood of the Marines and the soldiers that were shed. Now the red in that flag represents the blood that you fucking spilled to take this land, man. And you just want us to just up and forget, you know? Well, but we ain't gonna forget, man. And that's the thing. See, you think that this is just something new and that all of this hatred just began here in America. No, this shit began way before this place, man. When the so-called white man brought slaves over here, he knew in the hell who he was bringing over here. He knew that he was bringing the Most High's Jews. He knew that he was bringing the children of Israel. When he came over here to take the land from the Native American Indians, he knew that who was here on this land, man. But it's just you people that are under the blinders. It's just you people that have a covering cast that is over you. That's the reason why they're termed the Illuminati. The illuminated ones. They're the ones that see in the dark. They know the truth. You know, especially the Rothschilds. They know that we're the Israelites. And they know who they were putting in captivity. You know? So this hatred that they had is a perpetual hatred. And it began all the way back during the time of Genesis. And it was, hey, all the way up until now, man. So go ahead with that.
This is Genesis 25 and 25, and the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. And after that came his brother out, and his head took hold of Esau's heel, hand took hold of Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob, and Isaac was threescore years old when she bare them.
Mm-hmm.
And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field.
A man of the field. You know, he lived according to the sword. You know, the same way that his spiritual forefather did, which was Cain. Go ahead. Which Cain means, if I'm not mistaken, it means weapon, like dagger or something.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
And Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents, and Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison.
God, but when you read further up in the scripture, it tells you when he was when the children before they were born, you know, they were struggling in the womb. Can you grab that part? I think it's a little bit up.
Genesis 25 and 23, and the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manners of people shall be separated from thy bowels.
Because they were fighting in the womb. That was Jacob and that was Cain and Abel. They were fighting because Cain was like, man, you killed me. You know, you slew me. I mean, Abel was like, man, you killed me. You slew me. You know, that enmity was already there in the womb, man, with them. Because it was a spiritual thing that was transpired. And two different nations was in that womb. And they were, the way that they were set up by the Most High, they were going to hate each other. One would hate the other. Salakia. You know? Go ahead.
And 2 manners of people shall be separated from thy bowels.
We're 2 different manners of people. As much as you try to come together and coexist, you know, and join hand in hand, we're 2 different manners of people. We got 2 different spirits. You know, the so-called white man is going to have a hatred for you because it's in his spirit. It's in his DNA. It's in his makeup, man. Go ahead.
But 2 manners of people shall be in thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger.
And the elder shall serve the younger. Go ahead.
And we go back to 28. And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob.
Yeah, because she remembered. Hey, the woman gonna follow that promise, man. Go ahead.
And Jacob's sod pottage.
All right, that's basically it. So when you fast forward, our forefathers supplanted, you know, the birthright from Esau by way of tricking him into giving him his birthright for a pot of uncooked.
I was just gonna say that's why they subconsciously hate us.
Yeah.
Like even because the average Edomite, they might not know about it in scripture, but they know that they have a inner hatred for us. They view us in a light, like because
they don't know why.
They know that we're better than them, but it's just jealousy that eats away at the inside of them.
Now I'm gonna tell you who do know those Rothschilds. They know about that birthright that was that they were tricked out of, which really it was gonna go to our forefather anyway. You know, which is Israel or Jacob. because it was already foreordained through the Spirit and prophesied by the Most High that it would go to him. But what the so-called white man did was he took it upon himself to revenge himself. Can you grab Ezekiel 25 and I want to say it's either 10 or 12?
I'd like to say something real quick because we're going to get the blessing either way.
Either way,
like,
you know.
The Most High, really, he let us get it the easy way on you, Esau, because we could have just killed you. He could have just put a spirit on Jacob and had you slain, you know. But
he had to have it so this way, you know.
It's more dramatic this way.
And then you got some people that are out there that are simple, you know. If our forefather was wrong, why did the Most High, you know, bless them and give them the land of Israel and even name the land after him? Why did he give them the promise? You know, that goes to show you who the Most High is dealing with. Hey, the Most High ain't dealing with the so-called white man. You know?
You said 25.
Yeah, 25 and 12.
Genesis 27 and 20 and 41.
Kind of speak on it too. 39.
Genesis 27 and 39. And Isaac, his father, answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. And
this is talking about the so-called white man. Thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. It doesn't the scripture says that their eyes stand out with fatness, they have more than their hearts can wish. How did they gather the whole world? They gathered through stealing, man. You know, through being a cancer to the earth. By going into every nation that they go into and taking it over. By way of the sword, man. By way of genocide. Look at what they did to our people that were here, man. How many so-called Native Americans lost their lives? You know, because of you devils. You know? And when they were being brotherly unto you, you entreated them wickedly. You made treaties with them that you didn't keep. You forced it. You put the bottle to them so that you can discover their nakedness, man. You know, you gave them smallpox. You killed their children. You raped their women. You raped the men. And then you turned around and did it to their brothers, you know, which is the Negroes, man. And you turned around and you pretty much did the same thing to them, if not worse. You know, hanging them by trees, putting yokes of iron upon their neck, you know, which the scripture is going to get into. Go ahead.
And of the dew of heaven from above, and by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
And I could be wrong if I'm not mistaken. I believe this happened around the Byzantine Empire. You know, at the end of the Byzantine Empire, when Jake fell out of power, you know, and Esau came back into power, man. You know? Go ahead.
And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob.
So hey, there's a perpetual hatred that's there, man. That enmity is put there and is etched in the DNA from the Most High Heavenly Father, man. Because it's the Lord's doing. You know, because the Lord has a purpose and a plan. You know, and like I said, it's to exonerate his people Israel, and it's to show the world who the wicked is, man. You know, that the so-called white man, the nation of Edom, is the devil, and also to teach our people how not to be, you know, how not to live ungodly and unrighteously as this vile heathen do.
Okay. This is Amos 1 and 11. Okay. Thus saith Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4.
You know what? Let this one come out first, and then grab that one.
Okay.
Kind of it's gonna fall right into it.
This is Ezekiel 25 and 12. Thus saith Yahweh Basham Shai power, because that Edom hath dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance, and hath greatly offended, and revenged himself upon them. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh Basham Shai power, I will also stretch out my hand upon Edom, and will cut off man and beast from it, and I will make it desolate from Teman, and they of Dedan shall fall by the sword.
Because the so-called white man, the nation of Edom, has taken it upon themselves to revenge themselves. You know, when you go all the way back to situations like the guy that fled into Egypt, fleeing King David. You know, when you go into Haman, you know, during the time of Esther, how he tried to cut off the whole nation of Israel by a decree of, I want to say that was Artaxerxes, if I'm not mistaken. You know how he tried to get all of the nation of Israel put to death, man. You know, even through the spirit, going back to Cain and Abel, you know, and Elder Yashawamba always brings this out, you know, how Cain tried to cut off the righteous bloodline by way of killing Abel, you know, and then how we'll be doomed if it wasn't for the Most High allowing Seth to be born, man, who he ended up coming through the bloodline of Seth. But when you fast forward, that same spiritual hatred was working in the nation of Edom, man, towards the nation of Israel, which Israel is that chosen seed, you know, just how Seth was the chosen seed, man. So you had Haman trying to cut our people off, and then you got all different manner of people, because Haman, you can trace his bloodline back to the Macedonians, and the Macedonian bloodline can be traced back to Agag, you know, and Agag was an Amalekite, you know. He was of the same nationality as these people who lie and perpetrate and say that they're Jews today. So don't tell me that hatred ain't still there, man. You know, all throughout different generations, you know, they've been trying to avenge themselves or revenge themselves upon the nation of Israel, man. And that's the reason why